Hi everyone, welcome to YOLO podcast. Today we're having Anna Cheung. That is my friend and that is amazing, incredibly intelligent person. I know she's working as sales director in Sankari Properties. Before that, she was working as well, managing the sales department in one of the most luxurious developers. And before that, she was real estate broker. Before that, she had her own clinic. So I have a lot of questions to ask today. Thank you so much for coming, Anna.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm actually speechless, and that doesn't come naturally to me, as you know. But yes, the history is long. It shows my age, but I'm very, very happy to be here. And thank you so much for having me again for your podcast.
Yes, by the way, guys, we had two podcasts before. We were speaking about luxury real estate in general, and we were speaking about Sankari new project. It was a little bit earlier, but I will leave the link on both of the videos here, so you can check what we spoke about. Today, I'm going to ask you questions about yourself, about your career, about how did you come to real estate, and about the profession of broker in general, and some things about Dubai.
Amazing. So many questions. Looking forward. I might tell you everything, might not?
Yes, please.
But I will do my best. No, I mean, obviously, I moved to Dubai 10 years ago, and that's where my real estate career started. But of course, I had other career before in the past, and that was based in UK. We had private healthcare clinic. So we work with high net worth individuals, sports people, and different type of sports. We had football, we had racing drivers. So it was very interesting, traveled the world and met many people. And I think that's where the passion for people comes. And I think we both have this passion, you know. Whether you're selling them real estate or whether you're selling them healthcare, it doesn't really matter. It's the same concept. You know, if you do your best, if you're knowledgeable, if you are standing out from the crowd. And I think that helps with the personality. And that's why I love coming to your podcast, because your personality makes me feel very, very happy.
Thank you so much. If we begin from this part, how did you come to real estate? When you moved to Dubai, how did you decide to join real estate? Because it was not a mainstream back then, obviously.
No, it wasn't. But when you are your own boss for many years, it's hard to come and join something else 9 to 5. I'm not 9 to 5 person. I'm very fidgety. I never rest in terms of my mind, always racing. And I just couldn't imagine myself working for someone in the office. And I think when I looked at real estate, it is a little bit like you're running your own business. And when I started as a broker, that's how it felt. So I was allocating time and, you know, you can choose who you work with. You know, you don't normally get that in many professions.
That's right.
And real estate is a profession. It's not a hobby. It's not a walk in the park. It's not something you can do part-time. It is full-time. So for me, it was very attractive. And yes, you've mentioned 100%. 10 years ago, it was different. You know, I mean, we didn't have podcasts. We didn't have social media. People were just starting doing something. And we were learning as we were going along. And I think the beauty of it, we've learned it now. We can look back and say, yeah, I think we've done all right.
Do you remember your first day at work as real estate agent?
I do. I was working at the agency, no names, of course. We all know each other. And yeah, I mean, they looked at me and they thought maybe I would be doing well in rental.
Oh, wow. You started from rental.
I started from the bottom.
Wow.
And I knew the area. And I think very soon I've realized that maybe that was not for me. I'm not a very patient person. I think rental take patience. And honestly, my hat's off for the guys who deal with it on a daily basis. You can run around, you can do so much for very little money, as we know. And but yeah, I mean, that led me to understand the areas, understand locations, but also understand what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And rental was one of the things I didn't want to do, not because it was something, you know, to look down on. It's just something that I wasn't good at. I was better at selling.
Okay, what happened next? What was your next step?
I started selling.
You started selling. Do you remember your first sales deal?
Yes, I do.
What
I
was
think we have something in common with you on that. You know, in terms of really, really big deals, yes, it was something that I was very proud of. And I think that's elevated my career to the next level when you're selling something, you know, in tens, millions of, you know, dirhams. Those days, again, 10 years ago, we're talking about.
Yeah,
you know,
it was
now
huge.
It was huge, and when you get your first commission check, and you think, "Wow, I really love that. I can do it," and I think that's a motivational as well. But this is what I do now when we do training for new agents. I always say to them, "Yes, money it's very good. This is what we're doing for. We're not running a charity here, but at the same time, knowing that that you've done it. You walk differently. You feel differently about yourself. You feel achieved something, you know, and giving this high ticket price sale, you feel like, well, you know, 10 million, 20 million is not the limit. And what's going to be next? What's going to be next? What's going to be next? And there is no limit. The only limit is we impose ourselves, you know. So that's why, you know, sometimes you talk to people and they're saying, listen, I've been selling for 20 years in the same sort of price brackets, you know, and they're very good at that. But they don't want to step out of their comfort zone and try something different. You never know. The client who's been buying from you villas over the period of, I don't know, 10 years, maybe he wants to buy something luxury for himself or herself. Why not offer this? You know, because they don't know it, they feel like, well, you know, I'll stick to what I know. But I think we need to evolve and learn. That's at least my view. You know, I'm learning every day.
Yeah, maybe that's not number one of the skills of a good agent and of the best builder. Can we name something else? Maybe you notice because every day you work with real estate brokers, all sorts of brokers, and there is a lot in the market today. Like, can you highlight something, some really basics that makes and differ the good agent from just the average agent?
I think everybody could be a good agent. And we all start from somewhere. I've started from rentals. But what differentiates, I think, is the focus. So I've noticed in the past, certain agents would consistently bring the client for certain product is because they're focusing on it. You know, they learn the product themselves. Of course, you're relying on us as the developer, you know, and we know our product better than anyone else. Of course, we deal on daily basis with clients. But if you're calling yourself a specialist, let's say in certain location, it's not just because you're calling yourself a specialist.
Yeah, you should know it in and out.
Or your mom told you that you're good at that, you know.
I love you. Go to work.
yeah, you're amazing. You know, the reality is, you know, you really need to know, and you need to know the competition. And when the question comes from the client, you should be able to answer. You know, I've seen it many times where we have a meeting with a client, with a broker, and the client throws objection. And I'm a polite person. I always let the agent, obviously, you know, talk first. And there's a silence. You don't want to have an awkward silence. So, you know, then the humor comes and we start, you know, joking. But the reality is I know the answer. So, and I'm not broker anymore. So anyone who's specializing in certain things and focusing on certain things will definitely achieve more because they understand, you know, you cannot know everything. I don't know everything. I'm learning every day. There's new developers coming. You know, somebody recently told me about this amazing developer in JVC. You know, I didn't know anything about it. When I saw the building, I was like, wow, you know. So I'm not afraid to say, hey, I don't know it. I would rather ask advice of someone who does know. Right. So if you are focusing on our segment, we will help you, but do your homework. Be different. Don't be in a rush. You know, it's not like, oh, it's the last unit going tomorrow, bring the check. No. No, listen. Listen to a client. I think reading the audience, whether it comes dealing with the client or whether it's, you know, sometimes even when you do presentation, I do presentation or my team does presentation for agencies, you have to read the audience. Is the audience accepting what you're saying? Do you need to change it? It's not like you're doing rehearsed pitch to client or the agent. It's individual. You adapt, you adjust. And that's only possible if you switch on and you're not lazy, you are knowledgeable and you very much eager to learn. And you're not saying that I know everything. No, you don't. Nobody does.
Can you say that there is some people that are not suitable for this profession?
Unfortunately, yes. We notice, again, there is a tendency. People coming to Dubai and they think they can become real estate broker overnight. It's a dream. Yes, when the market is booming, maybe people can do. I think even the valet drivers at some point were selling properties in Dubai a couple of years ago, right? But it doesn't make them a professional broker or real estate agent, you know. And I think when the boom comes down, we can see a lot of those people are no longer in the business. You've noticed it. You know, you're getting a calls from people saying, can you sell me now? Because somebody has disappeared.
Right.
So that is the tendency. And, you know, I mean, you just need to know everything, basically. You have to learn and you have to be on the ball. You can't just be, you know, today I'm a broker, tomorrow I'm dentist.
Can you name some red flags? Like if person has this, he better never be a real estate agent. He better never do this.
I mean, for me, okay, I'm a linguist. I cannot be biased, but I think the way you communicate is very important. Your language skills. You know, okay, English might not be your first language or other language might not be your first language, but the way you use the words the way you conduct your conversation, you know. We're not selling, you know, apples on the market. Yeah, we have to be, you know,
Careful with the words.
careful with the words. You know, we have to use certain type of words. You know, we're not using
Mean what you say.
Yeah, and also don't just blah blah blah. You know, I mean, we're dealing with smart people, investors. They've made money before they can invest, so therefore, you know, they're not stupid. And if somebody's basically just talking gibberish, I'm sorry, but nobody's going to take them seriously. I also think appearance, and I don't mean you have to wear everything labeled or, you know, the most. I think business attire for a reason. You know, if you're going to work, you should look like you're going to work, not the nightclub, not, you know, maybe some other place. You're not on the beach. And I think you always have to be polite. You know, not every client will buy from you, but it doesn't mean that you have to behave, you know, sort of the interest goes down. You know, we notice with people, I mean, real estate people, they easily demotivated if they don't sell. We know it, yeah? We need to sell to make us excited. But sometimes clients can take 6 months, a year. Those who really are, you know, patient enough, as you know, you do a lot of deals. You understand, sometimes it takes a long time, but you don't change your tone. You not start, you know, pushing or, you know, pressuring the client. No, in the right time, that client will buy. And if it doesn't, it's okay. Maybe his friends will buy or someone else, you know. It's a job. If you don't understand how the job works.
And this is the effort you put, like every single time you speak to the client. It's not like from 1 second he needs to buy.
And I think even when you send messages, it's not like, hi. I get a lot of messages saying, hi, next message, how are you? Next message, hope day's well. What is this? No, I mean, you communicate the message. And then, you know, then the client will take you seriously. You know, that's the only thing I think.
Can you describe one of the biggest, I mean, the best sales you've seen, and you probably came through yourself or your colleagues, and the most like disaster sales? Can you remember anything?
Disaster sales. Well, again, you know, I keep my deals private, as you know. But yeah, I mean, one of the most rewarding ones, I think, when you knew all along as a professional that this product is perfect for this client. And sometimes I actually love objections, and I like change someone's opinion, you know, and I don't mind them actually, you know, sort of necessarily not agreeing with me, because it's a bit like psychology. You meet the client and you hope you understand what they want. But of course, on the market, we have so many different brokers, different people who telling different information. So clients can get a little bit sort of, you know,
confused,
pulled in all directions. And when you clearly communicating and saying, listen, I think this is the place to buy. I remember I sold to a client in Al Jurf years ago when I was still a broker. Yeah. He had no clue about this location, you know, literally absolutely zero. His heart was on the Palm, and that time on the Palm, he could not buy anything. You know, we bought him something there, you know, it was pure trust. He has never been to that location. He actually thought it was like far, far, far than Abu Dhabi. By now, actually, he's getting his handover. I spoke to him, I think, next month. The amount of money he's made, as you know, unbelievable. He's very grateful. I don't need the gratitude, but what really makes us happy, apart from the commission and stuff like that, is knowing that we sold the product to the client who wanted a place to live, but he really understands that he's made twice, 3 times. You know, that's what makes you happy. And the most annoying moments is when, as a developer, sometimes we have a client and it's a solid client. The client understands the product. But unfortunately, the broker takes the client on a Dubai tourism trip. It is. Like, I just feel like, do you have a bus? You know, we need a flag. Because you're going to go to 10 different developers on the same day. The client absolutely, you know, beyond himself. He can't remember what he's seen or she's seen. And he could have bought on that first meeting. But because they're worried that if they don't show them everything, somebody else will, they're not confident in themselves. And that's a sad thing to see, because you know that that broker could have made the money, we could have sold the unit, and actually the client would have made money. But instead it was sort of pulled to a different direction. And then you call them and saying, what's happened? Oh, he decided not to buy. But he was here. Okay, I know people can change their mind. But sometimes, like, don't rush. Don't show you want to sell it. Be confident in the product you chose for that client, because that's your job. Out of 10 developers, you chose 2-3 places that you really believe will be a perfect fit. Stick to them. Don't allow the client to say, oh, somebody said this, somebody said, explain why. I mean, not just say no, just say, but I think this one is better for a particular reason. And, and that comes from knowledge. If you don't know the knowledge, you cannot answer this objection.
Right, but you had your own business before. You were the owner of the clinic, and then you joined the companies. What is the main difference between these two, and why didn't you start your own in real estate here in Dubai?
I think we had our company for many years. It was good, but I was getting tired of running my own show, because I think working for someone is also good. And I think if you're passionate about the work, it is different. Yes, that's why I'm saying I cannot be sitting in office, and doing something I've been told to do. I think working in the position where I am right now is very creative. It opens different options. You're always thinking other things can happen. What next step? It's not sort of your typical job. So it is a little bit like running your own business, but on a grander scale. If I can run my own development, I would love that, because I think I'm very passionate. Since I've started working for developer after brokerage, it's so exciting. It's so interesting how those little components, at first on the paper, actually first on the conversations, then on the paper, then it comes into sort of more digital, then 3D. And then years on, you see this building. It's like having a baby, I suppose, It's that satisfaction that, oh my God, I've actually contributed to, in a way, to Skyline of Dubai. Iconic towers that's standing. I've sold them. I was part of that. So, having your own business.
Makes you proud.
Yeah, it's similar.
Did you take something from owning your business that you use now today in your everyday life?
Managing people. Yeah, I think egos are one of the biggest things
Enemies
that can kill performance. Of course, you have a team and they have to listen to you, and you have to be a role model. But when you are a role model, you have to behave the same way. We see a lot of leaders preaching one thing, but actually behaving in a very different way, I look at people who work with me as equal. There's no difference, What makes me any better is just I know something different, somebody contributes something else. I think if you have that open conversation channel, that you don't have this, I'm the boss, I know better. Yeah, sometimes I know better, of course, because I have experience and years. But it's about treating people correctly. Nobody will perform better than a person who is happy in the environment, in the office, in life, They wake up, they want to come to work. When you have a toxic environment, you don't want to go to work. You can't even, the ideas are not coming into your mind. Because if you're stressed, if you pressured, if you are worried that if you say something, it will be taken in the wrong way. I think express yourself, come with ideas, let's work as a team. It's a team effort, I think, egos is probably one of the biggest letdown.
What about the approach that you need to control everything? You need to be aware of what everyone is doing every second, to see where he goes, when he comes, how much time he spends for his lunch. What about this management model? What do you think?
The micromanagement model, you mean? Yes, a lot of it exists. I think in our profession, it should not exist, actually. Those punching at 9 o'clock and punching out. Of course, if you're working as a secretary, you're on the phone. Or if you're working as an accountant, you have to be by our job is networking. So if my team is not in the office, for whatever reason, I know they're networking. I know they're meeting someone. Because if they're not motivated to sell, they will not make money. By sitting in the office and looking at me, it will not help. It will not help. You know yourself. Sometimes you're all day in the office because you have things to do. And sometimes you're meeting people outside. Sometimes you have 5 meetings. Sometimes you have 1. But as long as you're active, and why do I need to know every second of the day what are they doing? I chose them for a good reason, because I trust that these are the correct people. The same thing goes my CEO, Mark. He doesn't have to check up on me every day what I'm doing, and I'm learning a lot from him, because he is very much sort of output person, He gives you a task and he expects you to do it. He's not going to check every day how is the task going. He wants to set it up and see it at the end.
Point A, point B.
Point B, yeah. And if you cannot do that yourself, you should not be in your position. And the same goes for the sales team. The target is there, the idea is there. How they come to the result is their own personal input. And I think that's give them freedom.
And today you are managing the sales department of one of the most famous in many ways. Recently, everyone speaks about this project. Everyone speaks about this developer because this is a new developer in the market. Let's speak about this project a little bit because we had this interview when we just started. Now you moved so much forward in terms of cooperation with Regent, which is significant. You started the actual building process, the actual construction. You have the sales gallery. You have such a huge plans on this project. Can you tell us a little bit about the current stage?
So when we met last time, we didn't have we didn't have the name. Now the name is Regent Residences Dubai Sankari Place is been announced probably around 3-4 weeks ago. It made a buzz, of course, because apart from making noise in the construction site that you heard as well, I think half of Marassi Marina can hear us. It made very good waves in terms of, because, Regent brand is a very unique brand. It's elite brand. It's something that not everyone can afford staying, but those who can understand it really well. I was lucky enough to stay in Regent with management, and the experience was absolutely amazing. But what really makes our project unique, for many reasons, but one of them is it's the only standalone Regent residence in the world. In fact, Regent doesn't even have representation in the Middle East or Dubai or in UAE. Yes, they have a very huge appetite. In the next 5 years, they're going to open 10 hotels.
Wow.
Because at the moment, they have 10 hotels in their current portfolio. Carlton Cannes, where rich and famous spend that time during the Cannes Festival. Many more, Hong Kong and the other ones. But in the Middle East, they don't have. Next year, we will have in Jeddah. And in 2027, they will open in Riyadh. So they're coming into Middle East, but they're not planning to open another residence. So our 63 penthouse building, 63 units only. We call them penthouses because they're one apartment on the floor, as you know, yeah? We have 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and 5-bedroom, and mega mansion. These are the only branded by Regent. They will not be diluted. We will not create multiple projects with the same Regent brand. It's going to be one. And I think for those, they call them pan-generation people, people who understand sort of the best things in life. They will be living in this building. They would understand what it will come. But of course, we've moved on since last time we spoke. The sales gallery is there, which is nice. We have a model. We have material boards, we're selling. And it's exciting to see that actually end users coming. Because, in Dubai, end users don't normally come during the pre-launch phase. They want to come when the building is ready. They can come, have a look. But for us, it's, they're understanding that this is the last plot, the location. They understand Marassi Marina is a beautiful place. You're in the heart of the city, but you are on the water, and
I love this location.
Yeah.
And I love most of all that you have this, your gallery is at the same location where actually the project will be built up. And it's not different parts of the city. So you can just come to the sales gallery and actually see the views, the neighborhood, their experience, how you reach the building, how you come out of the building, the traffic, you can feel it all. Yeah. So I love this most of all about this project.
I think having transparency as a developer is very important because a lot of people can create beautiful renders. You can have a sales gallery somewhere and the view from the sales gallery will be absolutely spectacular. But would the view from your project that you're pitching will be the same? You don't know. Yeah. Renders, everybody can do now. In Dubai, I think we're becoming better and better at renders these days. I mean, sometimes I don't even recognize the location because on the render, half of the building's removed. It looks like you're the only one.
Green grass,
only grass. But yeah, it's it's surrounded by buildings. We don't want to do that. We want clients to come and visit. We want brokers to understand the location. We do breakfast mornings. We do all sorts of events that we want to invite people to see the location if they don't know it yet. And experience it. And if it's a Zoom call, if it's client from overseas, we have a buggy. We go on the buggy. We drive around the Marassi Marina. We show the client the view. We're not hiding anything. They can hear the noise of the construction. They can see the magnitude of the plot. And when they understand the facilities, it's only a matter of time. No questions. Yeah. I mean, They know this is the new iconic building.
And I love the location a lot. As you know, my office is just right opposite your building.
We see each other.
I see you every day. I see a lot of potential in this location particularly. First of all, this is the only part of the canal in Business Bay that doesn't have any traffic. This is like the best thing I like about this location. It takes me only, I live in Dubai Creek Harbor, it takes me only 14 minutes to drive. Maybe when it's heavy traffic, 23 minutes.
Yeah, the same for
Yeah.
me. When I used to come
Very-
out of even our head office, or when I was in Opus, to get out of that side of Business Bay, half an hour. For me, from my sales gallery right now, 5 minutes, I'm on LKL Road.
Yeah, you can go anywhere.
Unbelievable, yeah.
To the
And you
sea,
are in the heart of the
DFC,
city. Yeah.
all the directions. Second, I like that this location becomes very luxurious. We have a lot of projects from other developers
Yeah.
that's allocated there, and they keep buying plots. That gives me a sign as a broker that it will be something special. Even the restaurants. I look at the restaurants. They have Kana and Foma opposite your building, and Foma grew like 3 or 4 times now, and they keep increasing. They keep spreading because they have a lot of people coming in. And I love that this is the ideal spot in between the future and the past in terms of the business base already there, downtown is there. But at the same time, we have a lot of grand plans on Dubai district, on the Creek side, on that part up to Creek Harbor. So like this part, I think it will be developing really extremely hard the next following years. But why, like maybe some other reasons why Sankari chose this particular place?
So Sankari have, I think, a very good nose for, sort of together
going
with
on?
what's going on. I mean, it's a local family, and they bought this plot in 2018.
Oh,
So they haven't bought it yesterday. They had this plot for a long time. They were sat on this plot to see what's happening with the location. And when location is appreciated and has become synonymous with luxury, which you've mentioned, of course, they've decided that this is the right time, of course, to finally build something, because it's the last plot. In fact, there's 2 plots. That's why we call it Sankari Place. It's more like a Sankari destination. So we are, once we're done, by the end of 27, even the neighboring buildings around us will be very nice. I mean, we sandwiched between Lana, Dorchester, and our own plot that will have the amenities. We're going to have paddle court, tennis court. In Business Bay, your office is there. You cannot sometimes choose your neighbors. You might have the best plot, but the building next to you might not be as prestigious. So also to have this in the neighborhood is very nice, So, but I mean, for me, for example, I have animals, as you know. I have dog. And when I see a lot of animal owners, dog owners walking on the promenade, and it's a very quiet, beautiful, peaceful promenade, I can envision that clients who will be living in our locations as well, it is a family friendly, it is a dog friendly. You're in the heart of the city, but you're on the water, on the beautiful promenade with the cafes, It feels a little bit like Dubai Marina, years ago, but so much quieter. It's a beautiful place. And you're literally 5 minutes away from Dubai Mall. You cannot have the same in the downtown or other parts of Business Bay. You can't.
yeah, it's very convenient. Since you've been in Dubai for a long time, now after almost 10 years of living in Dubai, can you define it as the home for yourself?
100%.
What is the best parts you like about Dubai?
Everything. I love everything about Dubai, even the heat. No, coming from UK, it was a conscious choice. We wanted something, safety, one of the biggest things. And I think it's still, until today, when you go to London, I think you have to chain your mobile phone to yourself together with everything else. And Dubai, it's a very easy living. You have kids, you understand the same thing for me. They can go out, the options, the opportunities are there. It is definitely a home for me. I cannot see myself living anywhere else. I mean, we have a gold visa, we homeowners here, and I just think it's the place that gives me everything. Probably one of the nicest people I've met are in Dubai. People are friendly, and this is what you hear from a lot of, for example, Brits coming. They're saying, I cannot just walk on the street and say hi to a stranger. Or, here is this, the empathy, we
Everyone
are
is
so
welcoming.
nice to each other. I mean, I have Emirati friends who are super welcoming us here. You feel that they want us here, and they want us here to stay, not just to visit on holidays. And that's why, people coming in, opening businesses, they run the country for people to stay, to educate, to get old here, buy property, and retire here in this country. So for me, it's home, 100%.
By the way, the interesting fact is that your son entered the university in Dubai, and when I first knew about this, I was like, why didn't he, having all the world in front of you, choosing many places, United States, Canada, UK, any place. Why did you decide, guys, to choose Dubai for education for your kid?
Well, actually, he chose it himself. Yeah. The same way I don't believe in micromanagement at work. I don't believe in micro-parenting. I think if you want to be successful in life, we can guide kids to a certain age. But I think at certain point, they have to learn how to make their own decisions. They have to be independent. So he went to UK. He did a couple of weeks in Cambridge. It's like a summer course. He said, I loved the university. I didn't like the boozy experience. He doesn't drink. He's like, I don't see myself there. It's cold, it's rainy. It's like he remembers when he was a child. Yes, of course, I have my family there. They would love for him to be back in UK, but that wasn't the choice for him. Then he went to Australia. He again by the way, himself, we didn't come with him. And he went around, looked at the university. Wow. He said, yes, again, very nice universities, and lifestyle. But he said, I think I'm going to be more concentrating on surfing rather than actually working. And he said, listen, I see myself in Dubai. Like for me, Dubai is home, for him as well. All his friends from childhood are here. And he started university. He's actually going to the British University. He's going to Birmingham University, which I believe is top 60 universities in the world. You had to have very good grades, and he's done incredibly well. I'm very proud of him. Again, I did not contribute to that, apart from maybe Jean. He's very smart. He's learning. He knows he needs to do it himself. I only went to school on the last day to say, obviously, congratulations for graduating and meeting his teachers. They didn't, for the past 2 years, they've never seen me. Mm-hmm. So he's met really nice people already in university. He loves the teachers. He loves the buzz. But what he really likes is that, the opportunities then working here in the companies, he's doing economics and business. So he said, I want to do some apprenticeship here, Mm-hmm. If he was in UK, it would not be possible. If he was elsewhere, because he plans to stay here. And, for him, I think opportunities are here to grow. And he just loves it. So I think great education, great healthcare, everything on our doorstep. Why leave?
We have one thing missing here, though, for the kids. That is, I'm struggling at the moment. If we still compare additional activities for the kids, it's not that serious here in Dubai. Maybe because people come and go, teachers come and go in many ways. So if we speak about any sports sections or any additional profession like musician, artist, it's not that much popular here in Dubai. What do you think can happen next to fix this?
If something is missing, we know for a fact it will happen. But maybe it could be yours and mine. Very good idea. Maybe we can open something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I used to play piano. Cannot teach,
I
of
used
course.
to dance.
Oh, see, perfect.
Nice match.
We can do it. But it's funny what you said. I've noticed sometimes you can drive on the road thinking, God, I wish there was a bridge here. And then summer goes and it's like, oh, the bridge is there. Yeah. So I think
exactly. Really.
I think something will come. If they see there is a niche market that is not been filled, it will get filled quick. I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
After this interview, for sure, lots of people will be start looking.
Please, yes, please. We want to influence it somehow.
Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned that we have everything that is missing in Dubai is right there in a little while. What do you think is missing in real estate today?
Oh, in real estate, it's hard to say. I think a little bit more professionalism when it comes to brokers. I think people should respect that this is a profession and this kickback business should really stop. As a developer, you don't really involve in that. But the conversations I have with brokers in the market, my friends, it's pretty horrendous. I mean, you wouldn't expect to go to a lawyer and then ask him for his payment back. I think he'll laugh in your face just like you did. Or you go to dentist and say, can you do my filling? But I don't know, it's 1,000 dirham, for example.
Or you're buying a car.
By the way, I'll take 500 back.
Or you're buying a car. And by the way, can I get this 100K back, please?
I think this is a terrible thing. And in reality I think even the clients need to understand that, because if you because brokers don't get paid salary. Yeah. So this is their money, well-earned money. And any job needs to be paid. And I mean, that's why, for example, we as a Sankari, we're actually paying brokers next day after the deal is done, because we understand that the guys are working very hard.
This is just one and only.
This is one and only. Nobody else in Dubai does that. But it's also important because people need to be rewarded for their work. It doesn't mean that clients has any rights to take the money from the broker. Because if he does, then he basically cancels the right to come back to that broker and say, can you help me?
Right, exactly.
If you take something away, you should not expect, respect back. So I think if everybody kind of like a little bit understand that it's a profession, it's a full-time job.
But at the same time, brokers themselves, they let this happen. And this is what I don't understand. I never, ever gave the kickback to anyone. But I don't understand. This is what ruins the market, basically.
They're saying, he's going to go to someone else who will give them full commission. Then you're not doing your job right.
Right. If you just can switch
client
you
has
to someone
come
else.
to you because he trusts that you give them something that nobody else does. You're not a tour operator who takes you from one developer to another. That's a driver. No, you are professional. And the reason why they don't pay you for your services, by the way, the developer does. So why should you even discuss this?
Right.
I think if you look at it this way, a lot of people would not have this conversation, and I think it's disrespectful to the industry.
Exactly. 100% agree. What do you think we are missing from the hotel side? Because there is a lot of hotels in Dubai and international operators, the most ultra luxurious operators. Now we have Regent coming in. But what do you think is missing? Well, maybe Regent comes with something they can offer that is not very popular in Dubai or not that much provided yet.
I mean, Regent comes with the rich history of 50 plus years as one of the most luxurious and sort of that special brand that only few can afford and understand. But Regent is not coming as a hotel here as yet. So for now, it is purely residential unit that the clients who will buy from us will experience all of those things. And for me, it was the familiarity. The moment you walk through the door, you feel like you've been here before. And I haven't been there before. It's not just the way they greet you and you kind of feel like, oh, it's nice. No, it's not about that. Everywhere you go, you feel like people genuinely smiling, because, in the industry of hotels, you have this work smile, yeah? And it is. We have them as well in the profession. But in that particular experience that I had, it was very special. And also, little things, they remember something you said or some small request you've done on the first day of stay. Those requests were multiplied in the different locations, handwritten notes, little things. I'm not saying that this is what's missing in Dubai in the hotels, but that next level service, not sort of like turn around, let's get as many people as possible. And don't forget, every level of hotel needs place to exist because somebody can afford it, somebody cannot afford it, And I think in Dubai we have pretty much, I've not been to a place that has got that many options, and service is amazing. But I think Regent brings that extra, that really, really unique approach, where they're really combining the rich history, the classic sort of elegance of the Regent brand, and they're combining it what people want in the modern world, what's required now. Because again, it doesn't mean people who stay in Regent, they have to be 50 plus year old. No, they could be young people, who also appreciate that modern sophistication, and Regent will provide that for them.
I'm glad that you mentioned this. I know Regent from the movie Pretty Woman, of course, with Julia Roberts, as we all, of course, love this movie. And this is still one of my favorite movies, by the way, because this main scene was filmed basically in Regent. And what I feel, it's not like you said, but maybe it's not like we are missing this in Dubai, but I see it a lot from other hotel operators. They put a lot of accent on being stylish, modern, and, now. Very, very outstanding, very, very, significant, shouting, to be on hype kind of thing. Versus Regent, I have the feeling that this hotel have been there for a while. It is there now, and it will be there for many, many years. So this, lifetime feeling that makes you feel really, comfortable and stable and, and nothing can change, like the quality will not be changed. It was there, it's there, it will be there. So I think this is very important. And I don't see too many hotels like this in Dubai.
100%. I think it's all about this understated luxury, understated sort of elegance. When it's not screaming and shouting in you, you can put beautiful golden chandeliers, but if the service is not the same, at the end of the day, you're coming to the hotel for services. So I've seen hotels where you walk in and it's like a wow factor. But then you go to someone in the corridor and you're saying, excuse me, but my card is not working. And they said, okay, you have to go downstairs to get it with the concierge. It will not happen in Regent. They will say, let me take care of it. I will come back to you. Even if it's not his or her job. It's about that seamless experience from the moment you come to the moment you leave, and also after service. You know, this is very important. And that's what goes for branded residences. In Dubai, for example, you know, you can have different brands. Only the hospitality brand can really give you that. But coming back to Pretty Woman, it is my favorite movie. Shows my age. Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it as a kid, I didn't know it was Regent, but I certainly absolutely fell in love with the way, you know, it was operated. And it's that sort of richness of the history, of the quality of services, that what really, you know, stands this brand apart from other good brands as well.
Just to mention a part for our listeners who probably don't know, when we speak about Sankari Place, we don't speak about the Hotel Regent. We speak about residential tower that is managed by the hotel. So basically all the residents, they can have the service and the membership, and they can be treated like as if on daily basis they are staying in the hotel. So this is the lifestyle.
It's a purely residential unit. There's no hotel component there apart from the Regent brand taking care of it. And, you know, a lot of times you've done many handovers in the units that you've sold in the past. And of course, clients are really taken care of by the time you come to the developer, and the developer sells something to them. They sell the dream, they sell the interior, they'll sell the, you know, the fit out and stuff like that. But it's when the keys are coming to the hand of the client and the client walks through the door, it's that after service that's sometimes lacking in the branded residences. And for Regent, it will be completely taken care of, you know, by the brand itself, from the iconic doorman, you know, meeting you, to the smell in the building, to basically everything. They don't say no to any request. The clients will be taken care of. Not like in the hotel. It's only 63 residents who will be living there, but it will be people of the same taste, same probably financial level, because, you know, our property starts from $10 million. So anybody who buys $10 million property probably have 100 million in their pocket, right? So it'll be similar caliber of people. And as much as we, you and me, like networking with like-minded people, these people also like networking with the same caliber of people. So everything in the Regent will be able to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. Speaking about the market, a little bit prediction time. I know
Where's my glass ball?
Yes, where's the crystal ball? But in general, the latest trends that a lot of high net worth individuals keep coming in Dubai, like just a tremendous amount of multimillionaires, centimillionaires, they just keep coming. And this is the tendency I see that is keep going on. What do you think Dubai will face in real estate for the next 3-5 years?
100% what you said. They keep coming. The difference is now they're not leaving. They keep coming and staying. You know, what we've seen in the past 10 years, they were keep coming. They were coming in Dubai. They were spending money. They were shopping. They were eating out. They were staying in the nice hotels. And that's why the hotel industry is booming by now, because those people contributed to that. But now they're actually moving. They're bringing their families, they're bringing their kids, they're bringing their dogs, animals, whatever. And they're setting up their businesses. They're making Dubai their home. So if you, with appetite of 10 million plus, 15 million plus dollars coming to Dubai right now, and you're looking for something discreet, something that obviously taken care of, services and everything else, everything on your doorstep with a finger click, you as a broker, what can you see ready right now on the market that all those people can buy? So there is a lack of that segment. There are plenty of units being released by developer because there's other different type of people moving to Dubai. There are people moving here who can afford only one bedroom, who can afford rental. So of course those units are also, and that's why we've seen even the rentals going up because it's physically lack. There's more people coming than we have stock. Yes. And that's a reality. That's not just my theory. It's happening. There's 100,000 of people coming every year to Dubai. They have to live somewhere. But especially the high net worth individuals, they're really looking for something very unique. And to find something ready of this caliber, there's only a handful of developers that actually delivering this. So promising many more.
Yeah, right. So do you think we will have more developers that will come to the market from ultra luxury segment?
I'm sure there'll be more developers. Not sure about the ultra luxury, but certainly, I mean, I hear almost weekly somebody's telling me, "Oh, did you hear about this developer? I never heard of this developer." And I'm in this business, so yeah, there's a lot of people coming. There are local people who maybe had agencies before or were involved in other businesses, now realizing that actually the land that they have in their portfolio is not just valuable to sell as a land, but actually construct. We see companies now becoming developers in recent years. So I think luxury segment has not dipped. You've seen it. It's still going up slowly. Of course, it's not a boom, but it's slowly going up. It's appreciating. But the speed of appreciation is higher than anywhere else in the world anyway. If you compare to London, it's not appreciating. So even when people say, well, it's a quiet period or slightly low market, it's compared to Dubai 2 years ago.
Yeah, but we can see the segments.
Yeah.
So it depends, segment on segment. Yeah. If we speak about commercial, because we do commercial a lot, if we speak about luxury properties, I don't see any changes.
100%. There's a lack of commercial. We see units coming up and selling at the record prices, and so is the luxury segment. If you look at the transaction in Dubai Land Department, some of the units that were resold now, and I know you deal with some of them, it's crazy. Crazy for us because we're in this market, yes. We understand, but it's actually norm for Dubai.
Mm-hmm. Can you name 3-4 of most luxurious areas in Dubai?
Well, I think Palm Jumeirah always will be because it's unique. I love Palm, but it is becoming a little bit congested. But still, anyone who wants to live on the water, on the beach, will choose Palm. And we will have something later on, maybe next year, to excite you guys with. And that will be very special, definitely, for people who really, really looking for something very unique. I do love downtown Business Bay because that's where the hub, this is the heart of the city. This is where the best places to eat, entertainment, shopping, everything there. So for me, our Marassi Marina is amazing.
And water, of course.
And and being on the water as well. I don't know. I mean, for villa communities, I think if we're talking about obviously we don't build Jumeirah Island, Jumeirah Park is also the area we absolutely love. But I also know that Dubai Creek is coming up nicely. Mm-hmm. There was a period of time where it sort of was slightly dormant. I think you know that well. But I can see now it's also coming up. So there's different locations. And, depends on the budget. Hot location is only hot if you can afford it, So, there's a lot of other Furjan coming up. Who would have thought so?
Right. Deira Islands, Jebel Ali.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Maritime City now is hot
interesting
as well.
projects coming in.
So, there are a lot of properties for the certain budget. But for luxury segment, I think downtown Business Bay and Palm will always be that special moment.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Anna. I appreciate that you came here today. And I believe in your project really, really extremely hard because I love you have the best ratio of the price and size in terms of any luxurious developer at the moment. So I believe that your project will have a huge success.
I know.
And it's a pleasure for me selling this. Thank you so much. And I will see you again shortly.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure coming on the podcast with you because I really value your opinion and your expertise on the market. You've been here long enough. And it's not just that. I think you're also incredible, talented lady.
Thank you.
And I'm very lucky to call you my friend. So thank you so much to invite me here again.
Thank you.